All right, how you guys doing today? We about to hop into a little reaction. First things first, don't make sure you like that video. Hit a little exit full screen, scroll a bit, like it, and then full screen it back up. You feel me? So I think this is a very good video to react to. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I was just scrolling down my home page trying to find a video to react to, and when I seen this one, I thought it's very easy to forget how unpersecuted we are in our daily lives. Like I saw a video, another one, the 19-year-old that died for Christ in 1997, you know, which is fairly recent, right? But I think it's good to look at what these people were really going through for their faith back then. So specifically the 12 disciples, this is like when it first started, right? They weren't liked by the Jews. They weren't liked by the Romans. They weren't liked by nobody. And they suffer for their faith more than we should ever have to. But you never know. You never know. In certain parts of the world that may happen. I really don't like the way they did my boy Matthias right here. But I also woke up thinking, you got to tell the gospel to your friends because, you know, we take for granted so much of life already. Because when we think about spreading the gospel, it's, well, what if that person dies today? But what if you died today, right? If somebody dies today, that's one person that didn't get to hear the gospel from you. You know, that may be your friend, that may be whatever, right? That person dies. You can't share the gospel to them, right? But if you die, imagine all the people you know that you wouldn't get to spread the gospel to, and that's a bigger impact, which is why we have to spread it, right? It's not just about, oh, he died and I couldn't spread the gospel to him. It's just one person, but then you still don't go on to spread the gospel to the other 70 people you know. But if you die, some of those 70 people have never met anybody else that has been transformed by Christ midway through their life. Therefore, they don't go to church. They don't meet Christians. They don't do anything. The chances of them hearing the gospel are even significantly lower than when you were around. So we often take that for granted as well. But let's check this out.
Andrew. Originally a disciple of John the Baptist, Andrew was the first to recognize Jesus as the Messiah, after John declared Jesus the Lamb of God. Eager to share this revelation, Andrew quickly brought Jesus to his brother Simon Peter, marking a pivotal moment in biblical history. Throughout Jesus' ministry, Andrew was known for his keen insight and problem solving, notably during the feeding of the 5,000. His post-resurrection mission took him through Greece and Asia Minor, where he connected with diverse cultures, adapting his teachings to local customs. Tradition holds that Andrew met his end on an X-shaped cross in Patras, passionately preaching to his last breath. Simon Peter. From casting nets along the Galilean shores to becoming a pillar of the early church, Simon Peter's journey was marked by profound transformations. Called by Jesus to be a fisher of men, Peter's complex nature, by turns impulsive and deeply loyal, characterized his discipleship. He's said to have walked on water, witnessed the transfiguration, and wept bitterly after denying Jesus 3 times, a testament to his complex faith journey. As a foundational leader of the church, Peter's teaching spread far beyond Jerusalem, eventually leading him to Rome, a city to which he has enduring ties. The Catholic Church considers him the first pope. Embodying humility, Simon Peter asked to be crucified upside down, believing he did not deserve to be executed in the same fashion as his savior. James the Greater. Son of Zebedee and brother of John, James the Greater was among the first disciples Jesus called while they were fishing on the Sea of Galilee. A witness to several pivotal moments, including the Transfiguration, James's fiery temperament and strong leadership were significant throughout Jesus' ministry. After the Ascension, James spread the gospel fervently across Judea and Samaria. His bold proclamation of faith made him the first apostle to be martyred, beheaded on the orders of King Herod Agrippa in Jerusalem. His death marked a significant moment in the early Christian community, emphasizing the cost of discipleship. John. The younger brother of James the Greater, John was known as the beloved disciple and was deeply trusted by Jesus, as evidenced by his presence at the Transfiguration and at the foot of the cross during the crucifixion. Renowned for his profound love and loyalty, John took care of Mary, Jesus' mother, as per Jesus' request from the cross. Post-resurrection, John played a pivotal role in the early church, traditionally said to have penned the Gospel of John, 3 epistles, and the Book of Revelation, a record of apocalyptic visions he supposedly witnessed while in exile. John reportedly died of natural causes at an old age, the only apostle not to die a martyr. Philip. Philip was called by Jesus from the town of Bethsaida, the same town as Andrew and Peter. Known for his thoughtful approach and questioning nature, after Jesus' resurrection, Philip preached primarily in Phrygia and was martyred in Hierapolis. Tradition states that Philip was also crucified upside down, demonstrating his unwavering faith through a profound commitment to spreading the gospel, even unto death. Bartholomew. Also known as Nathaniel, Bartholomew was initially skeptical of Jesus, but changed his views completely upon meeting him, and he was praised by Jesus for his lack of deceit. A man of great honesty and integrity, Bartholomew was believed to have preached extensively, reaching as far as India and Ethiopia. He met a brutal martyrdom, flayed alive in Armenia, a stark testament to his dedication and the severe trials faced by early apostles spreading Christianity. Matthew. Formerly a tax collector, his dedication.
It's crazy that they got bro holding a flaying knife and or his own skin. Like, why?
and the severe trials faced by early apostles spreading Christianity. Matthew. Formerly a tax collector, Matthew experienced a dramatic life change when Jesus called him, highlighting Jesus' mission to call the marginalized and overlooked. As an apostle, Matthew is credited with writing the first gospel, which addresses a primarily Jewish audience, linking Old Testament prophecies with Jesus' life and work. His later years were spent spreading the gospel in regions such as Ethiopia, where he met martyrdom by the sword, giving up his life for the faith he documented so diligently. Thomas. Often remembered for his death by the sword.
Bro said, hey, stop lusting after that lady, King said. Or what? Bow, get stabbed. That's crazy.
Giving up his life for the faith he documented so diligently. Thomas. Often remembered for his doubts about Jesus' resurrection, Thomas came to embody a story of transformation from skepticism to deep faith. After witnessing the risen Christ, Thomas became a fervent missionary. He's traditionally believed to have traveled to India, where he established one of the earliest Christian communities outside the Roman Empire. His ministry ended at the tip of a spear, solidifying his legacy as a passionate proponent of the faith he once questioned. He ended at the tip of a spear, solidifying established one of the earliest Christian communities outside the Roman Empire.
I'm about to take a picture of this and send it to my one friend because he's from Dubai. He's like Indian, but he lives in Dubai and he was born in India. And he's not a Christian. And I won't say that he fully disrespects it. Not disrespects it, but he's just like not really open to it. He's a very big science heavy guy. Like he's a engineering major, you know, he's taking physics classes, all that kind of stuff. So
Empire. His ministry ended at the tip of a spear, solidifying his legacy as a passionate proponent of the faith he once questioned. James the Lesser. Possibly a cousin of Jesus and later the leader of the Jerusalem church, James the Lesser is celebrated for his piety and his role in early Christian theology. Known for his contributions to the Apostolic Council in Jerusalem, he authored the Epistle of James, which emphasizes practical Christian living. James's steadfast leadership and dedication to the burgeoning Christian community culminated in his martyrdom by stoning. Jude Thaddeus. Also known simply as Thaddeus, Jude Thaddeus was one of the lesser-known apostles, often confused with Judas Iscariot. Distinguished by his fervent preaching and loyalty, Jude is said to have traveled extensively to spread the Christian message, reaching remote areas such as Persia. His mission culminated in martyrdom, believed to have been killed by an axe. Simon the Zealot. Originally a fervent nationalist, Simon channeled his zeal toward advocating for the Christian faith following his calling. Distinguished from Simon Peter by his initial political fervor, Simon's later life was dedicated to missionary work, which took him as far as Britain, according to some traditions. He faced martyrdom by being sawn in half, a reflection of his radical commitment to spreading the teachings of Jesus far from the land where they first took root. Judas Iscariot. Judas is infamously known for betraying Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, an act that led to Jesus' arrest and crucifixion. His subsequent remorse led him to return the betrayal money and end his own life, a tragic tale that has been the subject of extensive theological study and fiction. His subsequent remorse led him to return the betrayal money and end his own life, a tragic tale that has been the subject of extensive theological study and interpretation. Judas's story serves as a complex chapter in the Christian narrative, embodying the themes of betrayal and the profound consequences of one's actions. Matthias. Matthias was chosen by the remaining 11 apostles to replace Judas Iscariot, restoring the group's number to 12. His selection, determined by casting lots, was seen as divinely inspired. Matthias had been with Jesus from his baptism to his ascension, a witness to his teachings and miracles. He carried on the apostolic mission with zeal, preaching the gospel across Cappadocia and the Caspian region. Though there's debate about where and by what method it happened, he did meet his end in martyrdom, steadfastly upholding the faith he was chosen to propagate. Thank you all so much for watching. This was a really interesting topic to research. If there are other topics you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments, and of course, for more videos that
see, one dude got all the skin cut off, one dude got sawed in half. There's so many different disturbing methods by which these people were killed for their faith, and yet we're sitting here like generally just untouched for real. But and another thing is that all these stories are well documented outside of the Bible, right? Enough to where we know what happened, word of mouth, all these different things, right? To show more evidence to why all this is true, because people always like to mention, why would somebody die for something they don't believe is true? And not only did they die for, you know, it wasn't like shooting range where it's kind of semi-painless, right? You just get shot and you die, but you get all your skin chopped off, cut in half, hung upside down. Like, these weren't your average typical quick deaths. These were painful, all for believing in something that they believed to be true enough to die for it, right? So I hope you leave this video with something. All right, that's gonna be the end of the video. Hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.